Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, review analysis talk, tactics thing. I was thinking, and that's a dangerous thing, definitely. I have done most everything under the sun in terms of World of Tanks. I've unlocked all the tanks. Other than things like three marking everything in sight or maybe hardcore clan wars stuff, I've pretty much done it all. I've been a content creator for a long time. I was trawling through my garage the other day thinking about content and what I could do next that would be interesting. Because I've kind of done all the same stuff over and over for a long time. And this is not a big departure, but I came across the old Object 283. And I said, I need to make a review of the 283 because it was the slot machine tank that clink, clink, pull the handle. Ooh, did we win? Don't know. And I said to myself, I've got 35 battles available. What do I do with 35 battles of the Object 283 rentals? See, I didn't win it. Probably had more coins than most people. Not as many as some, but certainly more than most, with 200 boxes and playing every day and getting most of my resources. And I did not get it. And I looked at it and I said, isn't that a bummer about the old 283? That if you do want to set it up and play your rentals, you got to put equipment on it, and then you got to pay to take the equipment off, and maybe you got to make a crew with some gold, or maybe you got to retrain a crew, or maybe you can just slide a crew in or whatever. But it's kind of a lot of futzing around. That's nice. And then I thought, you know what? You don't have to pay for your equipment. You could either destroy it when your rental's over, or you could let it sit in the tank, or you could just not put equipment on it. And maybe you don't even put a good crew in it. So I came upon this decision. And if you're not going to put equipment on it, why would you put camo on it? It's a good question. I don't think you would. And it's all hunky-dory right now because I played one battle. And I did pretty good. And I'm feeling my oats, feeling pretty good. I have a feeling this little journey is going to be a rocky one. And I'm probably going to get really mad at some point. And I'm very sure it's not going to go as well as the first battle did. But I'm going to show it to you. We're going to do a quick review. We're going to talk about what I'm going to do here. And I'll show you a quick game. My first one. In the setup that I'm going to do all 35 battles in the Object 283 rental, if it's going to be a rental, my friends, then we're going to treat it like one, right? Nothing out accelerates, out corners, or out breaks a rental. Am I right? I think I am. So we are going to treat this like we stole it. We're going to put no equipment on it, my friends. You can see that that's what we have. Zero equipment, no directives. In fact, I'm so cheap in terms of this particular rental, we're not carrying any gold. So for all of you anti-gold round zealots out there, you're going to love this. We're going to play this with no gold. In fact, I'm going to leave it the way it came. We're going to have 2 HE rounds and 48 AP rounds. Now, I have made a couple concessions. As you can see, I will be using equipment. All right? I'm stupid. I'm not a complete idiot. Maybe. Don't know. And I did I used 800 gold, 246, yeah, that's right. 800 gold, 800 of Wargaming's gold to create at least 100% crew right off the bat. All right, so we're not going to completely gimp ourselves, but we are not using equipment. We will not use gold. We will use kits, and we're going to start with a 100% crew. You can see from the one battle, I got up to 46%. That first 50 happens real fast, really probably about 70 or 80, and then it slows down pretty significantly. So you can see I'm now down to 35 battles on the Object 283. So let's roll really quickly into a little bit of a review on this. It's a rear-turreted Tier 9 Russian medium with quite a bit of armor, quite a bit of angling going on up here. Let's do a quick comparison. And I just put the Russian hover mediums up there. It's a bit larger than these. It is kind of Object 430 version 2-esque. Kind of like the 430 version 2 used to be, which was a bit of an armored little face-punching beast. This is kind of what that tank was. 360 Alpha which is in between the 320 and the 390 the 430 is running around with. 226 average pen, that's definitely going to be a challenge at tier 9, especially since I'm not carrying any heat. I think it's heat, at least a gold round, whatever it happens to be. The firing rate is decent, and that gives us a reload of, coming down here, where's the, wait a minute. What? Where's the reload? Somebody help me. Oh, 9 seconds. There we go. I was looking for something with a decimal point, but it is exactly 9 seconds on the reload, which is okay. Gives it a decent DPM without any bonuses of 2,399, which is, you know, not quite as bad as a T54, which is a bit surprising, but certainly not up there at 2,600 like the 430 version 2 does. Aim time's okay at 2.4. 0.36 is not great dispersion, so the gun's going to be a challenge. Not a lot of pen, not a fantastic gun, not a whole bunch of DPM. I am going to have to be very, very careful when I play this tank faux show. The armor is really good. 190 on the hull, 250 on the turret, which is tops. 80 on the side of the turret, 80 on the side of the tank, which is pretty good. Decent for side scraping, not amazing, but decent. And the turret's really pretty fantastical at 250 right there with 150 on the sides. It's decently quick, but it's 430 quick at 50 kilometers an hour, and 18 in reverse is okay. So it does get around the battlefield. Another thing that's going to hurt a little bit, it's going to be a bit painful, is the 380, which you can barely see there, but 380 view range is not great. That's going to hurt a little. You know, the 430 version 2 is at 400. The 430 itself is at 380, but yeah, 380 is going to hurt, my friends. So what do we have? Well, obviously, gimping myself a little bit. These numbers would be what I would normally show for a review anyway, because it's 100% crew without any equipment, but it really comes in behind, in most stats, the rest of the hover mediums out there. Interestingly, it has a -6 gun depression somehow, despite having basically the same layout than the 430 version 2, which has a -4. It's actually one more than mid-mounted turret tanks, the T54 and the Object 430, which, okay. So I'll take it. I'll take the 1 degree. What does that look like with my crew? Well, it doesn't improve it a whole bunch. If we come over here to the numbers on the right side, I get a 2.4 aiming time. I have a DPM of 2,399 right there. My gun loading's not helped yet by anything, so I've got 9 seconds on that. Really, there's not a whole lot of help from my current crew on any of this stuff. My view range goes up to a whole 383, so I've got 3 more meters out of the little bonus that you get from the crew. Plus, I'm running a couple skills here. The commander has 6th Sense, which is nice, right? Since 6th Sense is now automatic, I feel a little bit better about just taking 100% crew out. I got 46 on recon, so there's where some of the extra range is coming from. I've got 46 on snapshot. I've got 46 on smooth ride, and then I went ahead and went with repairs on the loader. I could have gone intuition. That'll probably be second, although I don't think I'm ever going to get there because 34 battles isn't going to be enough to really get to the second skill. I don't think. Maybe. We'll see how many wins I get. And I will be using the extra bonus experience thing, and I will be using boosters and stuff to kind of kick it along. So we're going Iron Man, but not pure stupid Iron Man. Just something a little bit different, a little bit goofy. Why not come along on the ride with me on the no camo, no equipment, drive it like you stole it rental. If we're going to have a rental, we're going to play it like a rental. That's what I'm saying right there. So let's check out my first game. All right, guys, the first game was on Muravankadorf, Himmel's Muravankadorf. We are top tier, which is nice. We got 9s and 10s. You can see this sweet rental. It is quite large. I mean, it's even larger, really, than the Leopard PTA, which is a pretty large medium tank. So this is just a big, beefy guy. I mean, really, you could almost call this a heavy tank with the armor and the size of it. Its mobility is a little higher, I suppose. I don't know. I think it really exists somewhere in between the two. Rear turreted, that's tricky. So this has already changed my mindset. I'm looking at this going, how will I play this? I'm just going to be uber careful for these 35 battles. We'll see if we can sort of dial back the aggression a little bit and become more of a support tank. So that's another, I think, I'm sort of, as I'm developing, talking about driving the rental, driving it like a rental. Because I have limited myself in some cases based on equipment and stuff like that, I'm going to try to change the playstyle a little bit into more of a very support kind of tank. We'll see how long that lasts. We'll see if it even works. So I'm going to come over here with that idea, and we're just going to build the nest. And while this is not necessarily a sniper tank, I am going to let the big beefy dudes get in there. If the opportunity arises for me to get in and help them, then I'm going to do so. And that's pretty much what happens on this particular battle. We have a really good amount of tanks pushing in here on the east side. Long aim in time, man. I do get the hit, which is nice. Long aim in time, though. They have a decent amount of tanks, but so do we. And we've got some good tanks up there. We got the BZ, we got the BZ-176. And as I started moving, then more and more of theirs showed up, and I went, well, shoot, maybe I should have stayed back a little longer. But it turns out this is not a bad move. We'll push on in here and see if we can get some help in here with these guys. So they're all down low. I can see we've got extra tanks. The CDA 105 has actually moved around the corner, which indicates there's really not a whole lot over there. So I'm feeling like we can just come around this corner and maybe start shooting these guys in the back. And the Char MLE 75 kind of has that idea. He kills one of them. And I'm like, oops, gun depression. And immediately I give up hit points. Excellent. Genius. Front armor is not useful, my friends, if you show them the side. I'm just saying. Hard to use your front armor if you show the side armor. Watch this little snipperino. Ooh. 367. You gotta like that. That shot had absolutely no business hitting. And that's why I mentioned earlier that I'm pretty excited about this little thing right now. We get a bounce off the side. But of course that's colored by having a pretty good game initially, though it was really no fault or skill of my own. I just kind of got into a good game, good position. The Viper is over there. We'll just snap one off. Is that ever going to pin? No, it's not. 300 or 220 something pin against the front of a Viperera? No way, man. No way. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Nope. Zoom time is just not great. Not great. Guys are kind of getting beat up. Let's see if we can pop this guy here. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. They do push in on the damage tank, start killing them. You can see that the other side on the west is getting schwammered. And we're losing, fellas. I've only got 367 damage. 300. Oh, here we go. We'll get this guy. Nope. Armor not hit. Maybe the Viper. Maybe we can get the Vipera. Come on, Vipera. No, that's just a lot of top turret armor. In the side, no. In the side, no. That is going to be a theme as I play this thing with no gold. Good news is I won't waste money, right? You don't. You don't waste money when you don't shoot gold. It's just a waste. You got to show your skill, fellas. You got to show your skill. Oh, Mr. T49. Let's see. Things start going a little bit better right here. Just wait for this fella. I go back to this position, which is a nice defensive position. This dude just drives out in the open. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Other than giving me some assist and a little bit of damage, we thump him. Waiting for the zoomy zooms, and he dies before I get a shot. In fact, he overdies. Everyone's killing that guy. We'll hang out down low behind the ridge. We were lit, so don't go just driving up and let somebody time a shot or even have you still lit. We'll come in here and we'll shoot this Caliban, although he's behind stuff. How about the T-30? Nope, he's behind stuff. AT-15? No, he's behind stuff. Sturv K goes in and gets Caliban. Destroys him because autoloader giant derp guns are good for the game. Caliban's wandering around. We got an ISU, another great big gun I would like to avoid. Maybe we can hit this guy in amongst all this crap. I don't know. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So now I'm in the super uber careful part of the game. I don't know, even if I had equipment and stuff, I don't think I'd be raging forward and attempting to get in amongst, what, an ISU, a T-30, a Caliban, a T-103, and an AT, and a wild E-75 wandering around somewhere. Plus the BZ owns that side. So we're really in kind of a corner. The good news is the purple guys don't bother to come around behind us from the south. I don't know why. Probably because most of them are TDs that are left, or slow heavies. So there's not a lot of thinking going on. We're pretty much mediums. Or tier 8s. Let's see if we can get this T-30. Maybe we'll... Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. We were just... That was great. Thanks, TNH. That was... Don't you love that? When you're zoomed in, and you're just trying to get that shot on somebody, and all of a sudden your balloon goes, whoop, and you shift a little, and you're like, what? You zoom out, and there's old official Balak behind me, ramming into me. Ooh, what are you looking at, man? Can I shoot that too? Holy cow. Alright, there we go. Let's get some damage here. Yes, nice. I don't know why I didn't get spotted there, I'll be honest. There must have been some double bushing going on amongst all the various trees and little bushes between us. That's why I just backed out of that. I really assumed I was going to get lit. Oh, Mr. AT, how about you? You want some? Yes. No. Ricochet. Great. Alright, that was awesome. Also, same comment. Not sure why I didn't get lit. Maybe I can get some damage off him this time. There we go. There we go. Shut down the AT. And we're starting to crank the damage, alright? The rental is showing its stripes. 1,405 damage. And I enjoy people in leopards sitting in the back and not helping. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Here's where it's going to suck a lot. Trying to shoot things with decent armor in the front. And while that thing doesn't have a whole lot of front armor, when you're talking only 226 or 8 or something like that pen, hold on, what is it? It is going to struggle unless you can really get into lower plates and things. 226 pen. So I've got to look for side shots, I've got to look for maneuver opportunities, etc., even though I'm not very maneuverable, right? So I've got to play to its strengths. We're going to play to its strengths. What are they? They are Alpha? Okay, 360, that's alright. Yeah, good. What else? Turret armor-ish, except for anyone at tier 9 that presses 2. That's a strength, right? Right? No? I don't know. There aren't many, my friends. I don't think it's a fantastic tank to begin with. This is a boring part. It really is. We're going to sit here. Normally, a real YouTuber professional would edit some of this stuff out, and you would be like jumping from part to part, and they wouldn't show that mistake where they lost 400 hit points, and you're like, where'd those hit points go? But they don't show that, and then they go on to the next cool thing. I'm going to make you sit here in this bush with me. We got a coffee, though. Just have a sip of coffee. Listen to me yammer about the strengths of the Object 283. That was really nice, actually. The T103 got absolutely wrecked. It did not support the VZ going in, you're right. Why? Because the Caliban, the ISU, the BZ over to my right, and the T30 up top. But he kind of get nuked. He kind of got nuked, and I decided I need to do a little something. I don't know what Wyoming Cowpoke is doing. He has absolutely found a bush, and he is very happy to be sitting in it. He just sits there. I really expected to get lit. This was more of a recon by fire attempt. Very surprised I did not get lit going in there. And now I'm thinking to myself, this is not the brightest move, fellas. This is not the brightest move. Oh, look, we can get a shot on him, can't we? Where is he? Oh, he's behind. Nope. Maybe something's in the way? I don't know. And he's gone. Thinking the T-30's up on the hill. I'm thinking the ISU is just over behind those buildings. I doubt it moved. The BZ's still behind me. I'm in a pickle, man. I put myself in a pickle. It didn't work. I thought I would at least light somebody, or somebody would take a poke at me and we'd know where they are, or something. And here I sit. And in just a moment, I'm going to get lit, and I really have no idea how that happens. But maybe it's where I poke out, I take a little peek, and nothing. Very strange. This is the old camp v camp maneuver. Very common in World of Tanks lately. Everybody grabs a bush. Maybe one guy goes forward and dies. Maybe then another guy goes forward and dies. And then maybe another guy makes a mistake and he dies. And all of a sudden, the other team realizes it's 7-2, and then they push. Good on the TNH, though. I don't know how he's still alive. He was such a low hit point tank, and they kind of knew where he was. Why they didn't just push into him, I don't know. It's hard to understand. Look at the Scorpions making a move. I like that. Pretty quickly here is where I get lit. And I'm just waiting for an opportunity to pop out and maybe help him. We are starting to run out of time. I'm up to 1,400 damage and 689 assist. That's actually okay for a tank with this setup. Not amazing, but I would like to win. I would like to come up to win. Look at the Leopard. I mentioned the Leopard earlier. This is one of my favorite things in this game right now. Is people in full hit points, full hit point mediums. I mean, he's definitely got vision on that entire field, and he's got it pretty locked down. And yes, he can't go raging across that field. Very light tank, but there is zero. See, that's what I'm talking about. What? How did I get lit? I think the BZ may have moved up far enough to catch a spotting point, and that's where I got worried. I'm like, shoot, I'm not really hidden here. There's multiple crossfires. Somebody could potentially get a fairly easy shot on me if I'm not careful. I let them know I'm spotted. Leopard starts to move. Oh, there's the ISU. There's the ISU. He's moving around. Let's see if we can take a peek at him. No, he's not there. Is he going to make a move? I was hoping he'd come around the corner. This is very dangerous because I'm just sitting out in the open. Oh, I think something shot at me, maybe. I didn't notice that during the game. That might have been a shot coming in. Don't see him. Don't see him. TNH is still alive, man. I don't know how. He's down in the south, but he's now wrapped around. That's actually good. We are a bit thin in every direction now, but we are starting to cinch down. I was going to use some other term, but we'll leave that for another day. Oh, there's the T-30. I don't notice him initially, but there he is. He's wandered onto... Maybe it was the T-30 that saw me. He's behind a building. He got... I don't really know what the plan was there, if I'm honest. I guess he saw the time and decided to make a shot, take a shot at it. Good on him. Not exactly... The one-shot T-30 move was not exactly what I was expecting. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Uh-oh, look out, fella. Snap! Areno! Look at that! You stupid Artie. He tracks me. He's on a reload. They're starting to collapse. This is what Crossfire does, my friends. Alright, it took a long time for the payoff. Took a long time for the payoff, but this is what Crossfire does. Now we've got the Caliban out there. We got guys on every side of them. There's only 2 of their tanks left. Just like that. Isn't it amazing how fast in this game teams can collapse? That poor leopard just missed. I think, holy cow, he got to that range and he simply missed. 2,492 damage, 780 assists, and 3 kills. I'm sure I can average that in the non-equipment. Drive it like a rental 283, right? I don't know. All right, fellas, let me know what you think about the Drive It Like a Rental challenge right here. 35 battles in a rental, no equipment, no gold ammo. I am using kits, and I did start with 100% crew, and we'll obviously train them as they go. We'll see how it goes, man. I'm predicting around 50%. I'm hoping for 55-ish, but it's only 35 battles. There's a lot of luck involved in that low of a sample size. I could easily be 1 in 9 by the time I get to 10 battles. Right now, I'm feeling really good. But a sample size of 1, and I do not average that much damage on many mediums at tier 9, so, and that would be average damage. You know, it's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to this because I'm really going to try to be very much a support kind of tank as opposed to getting in front and trying to punch people in the face, which is my usual play style. So sort of looking forward to it. It's all fun and games when you're winning, though. We'll see what my mood is with this thing when we get in 20 battles or so and how things are going. Like I said, small sample size. Luck's going to play into it quite a bit depending on teams and other things. Obviously, I'll play as well as I can so I can affect the outcome as much as possible, but you are gimping yourself a little bit without equipment and a good crew at tier 9. And really, you know, the best part is no camo. We're just going straight Soviet green, my friends. Is that green? I think it's green. There you go. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. This is going to be very interesting, and then at the end of it, I won't lose any money for equipment. You know, if you're going to have a rental, drive it like one. See ya.